definitely a very surprising start to this series. Obviously, I wasn't expecting it. I'm hoping it's not another opposite day, and it's another invent or invert. I'll never hear the end of it. So, Aurelia gonna be banned in the window for Afreeca, and DragonX now gonna decide what to ban next. CV Max saying something
passionately. Telling one of his young players.
Monkas.
Nah, he's just getting in there. He cares. Syndra ban.
Syndra banned now by Afreeca. Akali banned away by DragonX.
Lulution? No Lulution. We don't see that anymore.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That I hope that Lulu and Karma and them all get buffed as well as Ardent Sensor.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that really what you want?
I can't think of anything more I would want for Christmas. Okay.
All right. Maybe we could get that in the preseason.
Well, Lucian was banned away. Elise now following suit, being banned away by Afreeca. And Kiana now going to be the final ban for DragonX. We'll see what Afreeca want to open with. And it's going to be Misfortune. Is the initial pick. You can see her champion record there at the bottom. 14 wins, 8 losses. This does mean that we have the chance to see MF and Varus. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. A lot of diversity.
All is balanced and right in the universe.
A lot of diversity between these two. As Rumble locked in, so that's a champion that can be flexed in theory into 3 roles.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that's going to end up working out. Now, Braum.
I wonder who's going to go with the Varus then.
Stop. Just
Timoth.
Just you're going to need to calm down right now, Valdez. As Braum is locked in. And Afreeca just have to decide what is going to be the final pick. They could just go with the jungler here and wait for more developments and then lock in top on 4-5. But it looks like Ornn. I'm already hashtag big fan right now.
Oh yeah.
As Ornn is coming in. So
if it's Ornn jungle, we're just gonna have to.
I might need to kick you off the cast.
You can just talk the whole time.
I can take over.
This can turn into one of those YouTube videos where it's just like Ornn jungle training.
So, at this point, Thresh being hovered by DragonX is
okay.
going to actually be locked in here. So we're still having a slight handshake in the bottom lane. So Braum is going to go unpunished yet again. And we're going to move into the second ban phases here. Now, the interesting thing about Ornn is that in theory... Yeah, Thresh's win rate not doing so hot. But you know what? Yesterday, we saw the 1-in-9 Olaf win rate get turned on its head. All right, were you watching?
He almost got more kills than he had losses.
Exactly. So, you better watch your mouth. As DragonX now, they're going to try to pinch the jungle pool. Now, this is the interesting thing, is that Afreeca's initial 3 picks, in theory, because Ornn can go mid-top jungle, it makes it very hard to pinch. Although I'm very doubtful that Ornn would show up inside of the jungle. But the jungle pool is being pinched even more now. And so if Afreeca had the ability to move Ornn to that role...
I mean, it is Spirit as well,
It is Spirit, yeah. So I guess that there's maybe a little higher chance than normal. And then we could end up seeing Kindred come out. Kindred is actually one of the better champions to Ornn jungle. And Pioshik obviously was originally a Kindred one-trick on the Korean ladder. Poppy now getting banned away. I'm actually liking this diversification here.
Yeah. It's not that same old that we're so used to. And the Poppy, a specific target against Spirit.
Doesn't last too long, okay? As Lee Sin.
Oh, no, not an LS being picked.
Lee Sin is...
Lee Sin.
Yeah, I get it. I got it, Valdez.
Okay.
That was very
I just wanted to make sure you got it.
You made a funny.
Thanks.
No problem. You'd like to go out for dinner after? I wouldn't join you.
Oh, okay. We'll see. McDonald's again?
Yes. All right. Well,
oh, okay.
Kennen.
How about Ornn mid?
Well, or it could still be Ornn jungle.
Yeah, it still
you better
could.
hold your breath.
I don't know. That's just like, that would be very interesting if they actually went
would.
for that. Oh,
Not like this.
Yes.
Not like this.
Yes. My favorite Viking. Olaf. You know, we were talking about results-based analysis. They saw that last game yesterday, and they're like, oh, boy, I know who we're picking. Coming in with the quick 2 and 9.
Oh. All right. So they're hovering Atrox right now. And they swap it over to Vladimir. All right, so I have a little bit more faith in what's going on right now. So the thing about Ornn, though, is all of these champions don't get particularly good Ornn items. We also saw a game in the KeSPA Cup where the team elected not to build Ornn items.
I can't believe that actually
That
happened.
was... That was a very peculiar game. But
were you casting that game?
Yes. it was something. So
I'm sorry.
Kennen likely going to have Zhonya's Hourglass. If he gets really far ahead, he could go Death Cap, which would be the best Ornn item upgrade for Kennen. But in terms of late game scaling, at least some of the Ornn items will help out a little bit. Olaf obviously likely to have the Black Cleaver. Kennen going to have the Zhonya's Hourglass.
What about Molten Edge?
Well, more, yeah, so Misfortune is actually going to get another really good item for herself as well. But remember, I talked about yesterday defensive Rumble ultimates. Well, the same is going to work for Vladimir. So there's a lot of gears available to DragonX, whereas Afreeca, they want to press the Ornn ult, they want to go in, they want to combo it with the Kennen and the MF. They only have one direction, and that's forward. And so we better hope that they don't fall behind.
Well, I feel like I've heard you say that many times before. And here in the semifinals, it's gone many different ways. Teams that have aggressive comps, passive comps, scaling comps, they've all won before. We'll see who takes the cake here going into game number 2 of Afreeca up against DragonX. Back onto the Rift. Hanadu set, Afreeca fighting, Hanadu set, DragonX fighting. Very, very even cheers going both ways, as this might not be an even level 1. We saw what Olaf can do at level 1 in our lifetime of League of Legends. Over 10 years now with the game.
Oh man, that really just hits you in the feels.
Yeah.
It really does, 10 years. As we're looking for some proactivity going on here, as they haven't been spotted yet. I actually don't know if they see Deft. But everything so far has been very safe by both parties. And Afreeca don't look like they're actually going to be able to find anything, so they're just going to transition, I assume, into a normal start spellbook on Ornn. 4 fly here. And Chovy with Conqueror on Rumble. So we'll see how this ends up working out. Teleport on him as well. And he's also playing Super Galaxy Rumble skin. Okay, so I don't know how you feel about that. But
is that a big win for you?
That is, that's definitely a big win for me. You know, I talk about this with Atlas sometimes, but I'll talk about it with you. I'll let you in on it. It reminds me of Sonic.
Yeah.
You know?
What, it was you and I that said this. No, it was me and Atlas. Okay, no, it wasn't you. We were talking about, he said Eggman, and I said Dr. Robotnik.
No, that was me and you.
No, it wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, it was me and him.
I guess we had the same conversation sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe he mentioned it, and then you guys had a conversation
Maybe
about
he's
it.
just recycling old jokes.
I think he's... Is Atlas recycling?
Oh, man.
Is he environmentally conscious?
I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah. You don't want to just waste those jokes, right? You got to get the most out of them.
Yeah, exactly. Same way that Spirit's getting the most out of his sweeping lens right now. He used that right there to take down a ward.
Yeah. Didn't get much out of it early game at the level 1. Wanted to make sure they weren't spotted going for the shenanigans in the bottom side, but this time around, Will, as he's just farming up. Top lane is going to be interesting. Doran getting the counter pick into the Kennen up in the top side. I suppose we could have seen Fly play the Kennen. If I'm not mistaken, I think he actually did play Kennen once before in the mid lane. I think that was Fly. Well, might have been someone else. I mean, we see it very rarely.
Kennen mid, yeah, it's not as popular as it used to be in former years for quite many reasons. Mostly the lane's distance, the proximity to both of the turrets. It's not really as favorable for Kennen's Lightning Rush, being able to dog down people inside of the lane. But then also, he just doesn't have enormous amounts of roam potential inside of mid, so putting him up in top inside of the isolated island, especially his range with a lot of the favorable matchups that he can have there, it just usually ends up being good. He doesn't fare super well against a lot of mages. He'll be fine up there. But first dragon of the game's Ocean. And so we will not be getting an Ocean Soul this game. That's
unfortunate.
It's not going to be on the menu, Valdez.
Yeah. No more pretty riffs, as Atlas loves to mention. The flowers that join all the brushes, the extra brushes we get, and the extra plants that do join us on the rift. I'm a fan of the Infernal, actually. I think it looks pretty cool.
I actually, yeah, I like the Infernal Dragon a lot more aesthetically, I think, than any other dragon except, well, Ocean's really good too. Cloud doesn't really do anything for me. I gotta be honest with you.
Cloud, it just becomes kind of windy.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like not that interesting, you know?
Yeah. I would actually really like more dragons in the game.
You think so?
Than
how many, like 6?
Like 6, no, or 7 or something.
Really?
Yeah, I would.
How about like a lightning dragon?
Oh, I don't even know where you would go with that one, but something, maybe
it's like when you get attacked, you do damage to the enemy.
Well, that's what the soul does. Right? The Infernal Soul?
What? No. That's when you attack the enemy, you do extra damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you get attacked,
your
it enemy
zaps them.
Yeah, it zaps them. It gives you like a lightning shield. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. All right, Valda. I was thinking like a cooldown or like just a general cooldown reduction Drake, not just the ultimate cooldown. Maybe something like that would.
I think that would be pretty hard to balance, though, right?
Yeah, maybe that actually.
So cooldown reduction is one of the strongest stats in the game.
Well, what about an HP dragon? Hold on.
Well, how about a dead rumble here as Chovy is not going to flash it. He knows he's dead, actually. Knew that the axe was available. And Ornn, one of the best lanes to gank for, it turns out, as he's got an insane amount of knockups and CC. Whereas Olaf doesn't, but has a lot of chase down potential, but able to get behind Chovy. It looked like Chovy wasn't expecting that at all, and it's just a straight-up 2-on-1 kill for First Blood.
Yeah, and Ornn, he already has his Catalyst. He has the Null Magic Mantle. I mean, things are just going to get really rough now for Rumble every single time he's in this lane. Anytime Fly has his ultimate, Rumble should be dead, as long as Fly is always pulling the wave, and that's exactly what just happened here. He doesn't even try to flash. He knows that he's dead regardless, so he's going to save his flash for a better moment, and this is a byproduct of the lane manipulation that ended up leading to or led up to that. So,
yeah.
Meanwhile, in top lane, Kennen doing okay against Vladimir. Has a slight CS advantage, although there is a wave coming in.
Why don't we ever see Ornn support?
Well, so the thing about Ornn's support is that normally when you're picking Ornn, you're picking him for his items, not just his ultimate. And so because supports take longer to get to level 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, it's counterproductive to have him inside of the support role. It's not that he can't go there if you're just using him for his ult, but obviously you would be definitely stunting some of the other aspects that he offers in 3 of the other roles.
Yeah. And especially with the less XP now in the shared bottom lane. Oh, that Q's going to sail wide. Jelly not able to land it. Jelly, by the way, ooh, that's a nice hit there on the backside of his Q. Forgot the name halfway through what I was saying. And now we have Spirit on the chase here. Looks like he's got Predator up and running. And he is going to let him go.
Yeah, Fly was not quite in range to do anything, and also his ultimate still not yet available, so not able to do anything there quite yet.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't know exactly where Lee Sin was either. They didn't want to chase too far, so just let him go.
Pioshik is just having a pretty hard time right now achieving anything, and so this is a Lee Sin that is just scaling. Now, he does have Conqueror, and so he will be a bit more effective in the later stages of the game than his counterpart in the jungle, Olaf. But not a lot of action has unfolded. And honestly, I wouldn't expect to see anything happen until around 15 minutes. We might have a skirmish right here.
Spirit not going to land that Q to pick up the blue. And it's not the biggest deal that you take that away from the Rumble, who's not necessarily going to use it all too much. Lee Sin picks that one up. And just the fighting does end there. So DragonX not going to let Afreeca just run through their jungle to begin with here. And, yeah, I mean, the first blood gets Afreeca a slight little lead, but the Rumble doing really well in terms of CS. That's the biggest gap I see currently on the map here, about 15 ahead in the mid lane.
Yeah. The Rumble is doing quite well in that, and so it's sort of invalidating almost the kill that Ornn has over him. And probably going to be going Leandri's is the first item for Chovy as Ornn does proceed towards the Abyssal Mask, but 2.5 minutes until the Infernal Dragon.
Ooh, Fly trying to get out of this one. Predicts with the flash, but can he actually survive with the Equalizer coming up here? It's not even going to knock up Pioshik. As the call of the Forge God, Pioshik did get behind it. Wouldn't have saved him anyway, as we trade kills in the mid lane, 2-on-1 with the junglers doing their job. Nice little catch there in the river. We'll have to take a look as, okay, another Chains of Corruption are going to come down here. Jelly able to not pass that one over to Mystic, and Lee Sin not able to get there on time. So no further ganking coming in. Definitely have to see why Fly was in the river to begin with in the replay, but other than that, just trading kills in the mid lane.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, the game state not super awful for DragonX, but I would imagine, like I was saying, Afreeca should be favored for the Infernal Dragon fight coming up here in just a bit. As Doran, interestingly enough, the Infernal Dragon, or not the Infernal, the Ocean Dragon is actually helping Doran out a lot more in this lane than typically it does for most lane matchups. And the bot lane for Afreeca just trying to shove in DragonX right now and maybe look for a better recall to get more items before the Infernal. But meanwhile, Afreeca, they're going to try to pick up the Rift Herald. They have a minute until they have to really consider the Drake. So if they can pick that up and crash it into mid lane, that would probably be the most ideal. You don't actually want to capture the top turret. Now, they might do it, so I'm not doubting that they'll come up here and place the Herald and capture the top turret, but that would end up giving Vladimir a completely free lane post-Dragon that you can't do anything to influence him with. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's what they're going to end up doing. So they're going to accelerate the cannon, as you can see in the live cam. They're going to get the First Blood turret gold. They're going to get the remaining 3 plates. So they pick up quite a lot of gold for themselves, and that'll obviously accelerate the cannon and the Olaf. But now, after Dragon goes down, the top lane is virtually inaccessible for both parties, which will end up favoring Vladimir. 10 seconds now until the Infernal Dragon, and Deft right on time with his recall. Sarcasm, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there.
You have to be very clear about that, you know? You don't want to give people the wrong idea. They're listening, they're like, oh, LS said that he was going for
had they just started the Infernal Dragon immediately, it would already be half HP, and Ornn and Olaf would not just be in position to do anything. But this is a byproduct of the poor recall timing by Deft, and so now we're going to have a legitimate skirmish over this fight. Afreeca should be favored in this, but not if they just lose a member right at the start. Now Olaf won't have his ult available.
Ragnarok down.
Yeah.
He's also down a level on Kyosik.
Yeah.
Chains of Corruption going to come in once again into the hook and flay Jelly in a lot of trouble, but double TP coming in. Can the stopwatch keep him alive? The answer could potentially be yes, but in goes Doran looking for the kill. It's not going to pan out for him as he's getting stunned up and denied for so long, but he gets in that one. Such a close fight, but then Keen with the perfect timing on that slicing Maelstrom. Tovi in the backline going to get stunned up. Trying to get into the little alcove here, but Fly is on the chase, and the slow is going to land. Another kill, a double going the way of the Ornn in the mid lane.
And so even though that fight started out really good for DragonX, once the Ornn and Kennen arrive, it's sort of like the Avengers in Endgame just showing up. There's not really a lot going on there for DragonX. They can't answer the Ornn and the Kennen at this stage of the game. Vladimir doesn't have enough items. Rumble isn't strong enough. And so in a straight-up team fight, even though everything was going really well, Olaf's down a level, Olaf's down Ragnarok at the very start of this fight, we take a look at how it all transpires. Chains comes out onto Olaf, the box flayed by Thresh. Braum ultimate comes down, so Olaf and Braum are basically out of the fight. MF ultimate plus Ornn plus Kennen, I mean, it just parts everything. It's dividing them all like a wall, and they can't fight inside of it because their champions aren't strong enough yet. And so this is why I was mentioning if they just tried to burst the Infernal down and play against Olaf's recall timer from the Herald attempt into top turret, maybe they could have gotten the Infernal and maybe lost 1 life or so. But instead, they prepared for a team fight that they should never realistically be able to win.
Especially when you dump so much damage and ultimates into a Braum. How many times have we seen that, where a Braum will get caught, in quotes, and he puts his shield up, is unbreakable, sits there, nearly dies, stopwatches, because it's a fantastic item on Braum for baiting this exact kind of thing. And then Jelly got away with like a sliver of health. He baited Doran to hemoplague a bunch of people just to get exhausted and flash forward and then essentially almost die towards the end and be out of the fight. And it was just kind of broken because so much stuff was sent into Jelly when they shouldn't have even been starting the fight, as you mentioned before. So kind of interesting decisions for sure on the side of DRX, as Afreeca going to earn themselves another lead here in the fight. I was also a big fan of Keen's timing on the slicing Maelstrom. He didn't just go head first like a lot of people would, like the second, he TPs in. No, he backed away, tried to kite the Vladimir, and then once the rest of DRX got baited into the fight, then he jumped on them, and he earned his team 2 kills because of that, got himself 1 kill. Now he's got a Gunblade and a needlessly large rod at 15 minutes. The guy is already getting on top of his items and feeling pretty good about himself again. Yeah,
the Kennen is just really, really big right now. Keen is going to be quite oppressive even in coming moments here. And the thing is with Afreeca, they're going to end up getting triple Mountain Dragon. Now, Ornn and Olaf, they do build resistances. Kennen already has the Merc Treads. He's going to end up building the Zhonya's, and then his Zhonya's is going to get upgraded. So, Mountain Dragon is actually going to be really nice at invalidating Vladimir. Vladimir's not going to be able to go for his all-in dive engage with Phase Rush and his ultimate and proc all of his abilities when the enemy team has lots of amplified resistances, and then if they eventually get to Mountain Soul. So these are very legitimate ticking time bombs that DragonX has to genuinely worry about. But likewise, if DragonX can get all of these mountain resistances, it goes the same way. Kennen will get invalidated for the most part. Misfortune probably will still deal damage, but then Olaf and Ornn are going to be laughing stocks, Braum as well.
Not going to do anything.
Nothing is going to end up being achieved.
All of the damage, I'm glad that you point that out, is in Keen and Mystic in this game. I mean, Olaf can if he goes legendary, but as you can see, did go Cinderhulk into essentially the cape there. So just going to be extremely tanky and be a front line for this Afreeca team. Whereas already their carries are getting quite fed, although that Hex Drinker an interesting item choice here for MF. When you are going up against Vladimir and Rumble, it's not a bad choice, I suppose, but it is going to certainly hinder the build, slow it down, and have her get, you know, stuff like Infinity Edge and Molten Edge potentially as an upgrade a lot later on in the game.
Yeah, and it definitely is a bit peculiar to see, but I think that what Mystic is trying to do is just have that added resistances for this next Mountain Dragon fight.
True. Actually,
And
I didn't even consider that.
The Rumble in the Vladimir is going to have a lot harder time doing anything to her inside of this fight because she's going to have the EHP from the Hexdrinker passive and then the resistances as well. So definitely don't think that Hexdrinker into Maw of Malmortius is that bad, especially if you just keep stacking Mountain Drakes and ramping all of the magic resistance against the Rumble and the Vlad. So
yeah.
We'll see what ends up happening. Orin is already busted, by the way. He just got... I think that the number is something over like 3,500, 3,900 or something in terms of value from the Orin items that he just ended up getting. Yeah, so these items are absolutely insane. I could be wrong there. I think there's some tweet or something that talks about all of Orin's items.
Yeah.
But this is definitely oh man, this
Take a look at the
awful formation right now for DragonX.
Yeah, they're all just bunching up. That Hemoplague not going to do anything. They call the Forge God, only getting Lee Sin though. But take a look at the Vlad doing 0 in this fight. It's Mystic and Jelly just 2v1ing him the entire time. A massive bullet time is going to zone them all away. So many flashes on the defense by the side of DRX. Afreeca just laugh at them, take a kill, take the Mountain Drake. Now the equalizer is thrown out as kind of an afterthought. And now Chovy's out of position. Had that axe landed, which was kind of funny that it didn't.
Ooh.
But they're still going to go as Chovy did have his flash and the Thresh. So trying to just get a little bit of extra damage. TP comes in to deny any push.
Hit.
And it did. Chovy now in a lot of trouble.
Doing.
He's going to get exhausted. He looks tilted, to be honest, after that fight. And who wouldn't be tilted after this one? As we're looking for the dive, this game might just be shut down right now as Keen doesn't want to go any farther, picks up the double kill. They get a couple more. Rift Herald's coming down, and now they're getting Baron at 20 minutes.
They're getting Baron again at 20 minutes. They're going to have Mountain Soul this game if it even gets to that point. They have Orin items. Their champions are built to resist the all-in from Rumble and Vladimir. This game is... It's looking real doomed. Choky is definitely tilted this game. There's no reason for him to be that separated from the team. It really looks like in solo queue when that one teammate just wants to FF and you won't accept the surrender vote. And so he's doing something that isn't totally inting, but...
It's not reportable, right?
It's not reportable.
Absolutely not reportable.
All right, we're going to take a look at this again. And I mean, the formation from this is just absolutely horrendous. Everything is perfect for Ornn and for Kennen. And even though Kennen loses a lot of HP, Doran, I mean, I guess that's why you never heard about Doran in Summoner's Rift. And he's over on the right-hand side, gets completely eliminated. Lee Sin sucks, so he can't really do anything against this team composition as is. And Afreeca just get to have their way. And watch Chovy.
He went in there, he killed the ward.
It really feels like right now, they're like, please, 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 don't.
Back, please. He's standing next to the turret as TP's coming in.
Please.
What are you doing?
He flashed so that he can't be reported. That's what, you know.
God,
he's just having a bad day, smiley face.
You're bringing back some bad memories, man.
It's not negative
some
gaming,
bad memories.
Valdez. Please.
Oh, God. It's so true, though. Like, oh, man, Chovy, what is going on? You know, he's a player that had some troubles with mentality in the 2019 season. Now he's on DRX, and
no one's
especially in best of fives. I mean, we've seen this before. I remember I was against SKT, you know, when they were SKT, now T1. And by game 2, he was already mental boom on Lissandra. I remember that series like it was the other day. And now here we are again in another best of 5, and they lose another team fight after losing game 1, and it looks like he's mental boom again. I mean, it's really sad to see. Nothing against the guy personally, but Jovi's a great player. I just wish he could make it actually, you know, get a little bit of strength, mental strength potentially, as he gets older here. Now struggling is DRX as the pushes are coming from every which angle. And this game feels like it's all but over. There's an Oblivion Orb now on the Kennen.
Well, this is definitely going to be a little bit interesting. Now, actually, I mentioned no one built Ornn items, but the Locket of the Iron Solari was built by Jelly and upgraded. It's one of the...
Okay, trying to land here onto Keen. He does not have a stopwatch, but he's still going to kill Chovy and did huge damage in the backline anyway. You forgot about everybody else on this team as well. Everybody had their eyes on Keen. But it just doesn't matter. This is going to be a clean ace as Olaf, your best friend, picks up the triple kill. This game is over by a mega mile, as pushing in now is Afreeca with the Baron buff. Don't think they're going to be able to end the game, but they're certainly going after this inhibitor and pushing hard.
Well, they might be able to actually get a Nexus turret, and even if it cost them one member, that would still be ideal. They're not actually going to push on for it. This is one of those things that it happens very rarely in pro play, but I love to talk about it every time it comes up. If you get one Nexus turret, the super minion by itself threatens to end the game. One Nexus turret cannot hold off super minions. We're taking a look at the replay here. And Afreeca are just so far ahead, it doesn't matter. Ornn is a beautiful champion. So if we're talking about result-based analysis, I hope everyone's watching
I love
this
Ornn.
champion inside of the game, because he's busted in 3 roles. Top, jungle, and mid. Ornn is absolutely one of the best. And so now this is going to be the second Mountain Dragon. And if you take a look at the items across the board, everyone has a little bit of resistances going on. DragonX, they want to give Afreeca one more clean ace right here. So they're going to line up for the Ornn ult. just give it a little bit. Kennen's going to come in through the front door. It's going to fit like a glove.
He doesn't have TP, so he's just going straight in the front.
Hold on, like a glove.
They're waiting for his flash, potentially. It's about 10 seconds away.
And the game ends.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Hold on. Here we go.
All right.
You heard the horn or what?
Line him up. He's only going to get the one. Forces the pool out of Doran.
That was a bit lackluster.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. That was
nice flash,
that was not a good flash.
Spirit's going to stay in the pit, trying to get that damage done. Fly just doesn't take damage here. Gets the double knockup, but Vlad and the equalizer into the back line. Have they done it? Deft is going to push Keen away, but it just doesn't matter. They're too far ahead. They're just smacking them with their wallets as the triple kill comes in. 5-1 and 9 is Mystic, a triple for Mystic, a double for Keen, and that, ladies and gentlemen, will be the end of the game here at about 25.5 minutes.
Valdez, I mean, this is looking very, very one-sided so far. This is going to be another very decisive second win here.
It's 2 stomps in a row.
And if you want to talk about result-based analysis, the Nexus is going down shortly after Kennen purchased Morellonomicon this game. So
there you go. Best item in the game. It ends games individually.
Yeah, that's